A lot of new faces in the crowd. In raising Paul these past 18 years, my two older brothers and I have tried to prevent him from making the same mistakes we did. I want this to go even further. I try to have Paul actually make up for the mistakes I made. This is the main reason I would love for Paul to follow in my footsteps at my college alma mater. There's got to be at least 12 to 15 full GPA points that I forgot to pick up when I was there. Paul is the fourth son, the last chance, the vector of retribution for me and the entire Martinez family. The brothers, we have an ongoing competition. Which of us will be the first one invited back to USM to present at assembly? Paul could have chosen any of us to introduce him, but he chose me, which doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I live within 1,000 miles. So thanks, Paul. Thanks for hooking me up with the chance to get behind this podium again. Without further ado, my youngest, favorite, shortest, least athletic brother.
I want to climb Mount Everest. I don't spend that much time outside, and my mom wonders why I would want to do something that sounds so miserable. But my motives have nothing to do with being outside and seeing the stark beauty of nature. I'm sure the scenery is beautiful. The Himalayas are no doubt awe-inspiring, and the view from atop the mountain couldn't possibly be any less than breathtaking. But if I were to travel to Nepal to climb 29,029 feet above the oceans, it would not be for any of those reasons. Mount Everest is not the most technically difficult mountain to climb. If I were to climb it, I would not be the youngest nor the fastest. Most likely, I will be guided by professional mountain climbers and Sherpas, but I'm not so concerned about how I will get to the top. All I know is that at that point, 29,029 feet above sea level, I will be all alone, standing literally on top of the world. For a precious few moments, I will feel the ultimate satisfaction, knowing that I have reached a pinnacle, a global maximum, the point where Earth has pushed itself to its limit. I think people in general always want to do better. They may try to improve their lives, have a more satisfying job, strengthen relationships, make more money. They may wish that they themselves were better, that they were nicer, acted more morally, were smarter, better looking, more athletic. And how does one decide what is better? People look to their fellow human beings to create a relative order on which to climb. But there's no conclusion to this process. There will always be someone better, if not now, then in the future. I, like any other person, want to improve. There are dozens of things that I wish I was better at doing. Some are my own individual pursuits, but most often my peers show me other places where I could do better. Every day when I walk into the band room, I hear Drew Iverson playing the piano, and I marvel as his fingers skate up and down the keys. In less than a year, he seems to have accomplished more than I did in a decade of lessons. In Spanish, Michael Wheeler talks like a native with near perfect pronunciation, using idiomatic expressions with ease. He outclasses me daily. I still struggle conjugating irregular verbs, and I'm half Nicaraguan. David Rosenberg has put me to shame with his academic diligence and determination. I think his key is his ability to complete weekend homework on Saturday morning. My inevitable procrastination leaves me scrambling to complete my homework Sunday night. In English this year, we looked over a paper by Henry Prown. In his unique style, he nailed his analysis of a character in the shipping news. His excavation revealed points I previously hadn't noticed, but later seemed so natural and so obvious. The past 3 years, I've gone to Iowa for a math competition. Killian Kavalik, another member of the Wisconsin team, has joined me each year. He's a junior in high school, but he's only 15, and he took the equivalent of Calc BC when he was 12 in 8th grade. His Facebook statuses mention college-level mathematics that he's actually studied, whereas mine only refer to random Wikipedia articles I've stumbled upon. My older brothers, with their years of experience, better me in a bundle of areas. My youngest brother, Peter, still 8 years older than me, is becoming an architect. His creativity and ingenuity inevitably impress me. Frankie, the oldest, has traveled the world and amazes me with his wealth of general knowledge. Michael works for Zynga, the company that makes Farmville. I wish that one day I would be as cool as him. One place that never fails to defeat me is the internet. There is always someone better than you on the internet. On Facebook recently, a classic Snake app was released. The USM score was traded around for a few days. I was proud to claim the high score of 1,030 points after an intense late night and early morning of Snake. I felt shame when I looked at the overall high scores and saw numbers in the 4,000s. The hacked scores taunt me even more. Those people don't just beat me, but they do it with flair, submitting impossible scores like 1,337,000,000. On YouTube, I've posted some terrible, absolutely terrible videos of me playing themes from video games on my clarinet. My Pokemon route theme on bass clarinet video inexplicably has over 6,000 views. I'm very proud of that. But there are Nintendo music nerds brilliantly more hopeless than I. You may recall the Super Mario Bros. Theme remix beatboxing flautist video, which now has 19 million views. I also have a video of me solving my Rubik's Cube. The video features precisely 19.87 seconds of actually solving, followed by nearly a minute of jubilant celebration. A click away on the sidebar is a cool 6-year-old solving it much faster. I mentioned my Rubik's Cube last because I believe that it has become very symbolic in defining myself. I wrote my college essay about my Rubik's Cube, and as I revised it during winter break, my parents criticized each version because they allegedly presented myself as antisocial and obsessed with an inanimate object. I hoped that I had honestly portrayed myself in the essay in a different sort of light, but unfortunately, every comment, every subtle accusation held more than a grain of truth. In his senior speech several weeks ago, Michael Short spoke of his experience in high school. He explained how he got caught up in a lot of things that, when looking at the big picture, didn't really matter. Near the end of his speech, he said, "If you're the kind of guy or girl that enjoys studying all day, keeping to yourself, and worrying about whether or not you're better than everyone else, then I'm sorry for wasting your time." After listening to his speech, I was moved. I seemed to fit neatly into his 3 descriptions, but I didn't believe that he had wasted my time. I am the kind of guy who enjoys studying all day. I enjoy going to school and learning new things in my classes. I can honestly say that I enjoy most of my homework, the continual acquisition of knowledge. But even outside of schoolwork, I still enjoy studying. I enjoy studying the Rubik's Cube, which may have been the source of the obsession element of my essay. Some days I spend over an hour solving the Rubik's Cube, learning new algorithms and trying to get faster. I'm also the kind of guy that keeps to himself. Again, this same idea was captured in my essay, though perhaps too strongly as an antisocial aspect of my character. I would say with a more neutral connotation that I like doing some things on my own. As I described in my essay, I eventually came to have using a term I found most appropriate, a connection with my cube. It's something I treasure, a keepsake. When it dropped to the ground and shattered a month ago, I felt a bit of sadness and regret. It was almost like losing a friend. Upon hearing Short's speech, I initially identified myself with his 3rd descriptor, as someone who worries about whether or not I'm better than everyone else. However, I noticed that there was an important difference between that description and the way I view the world. I do worry about whether someone else is better, but not because I always want to be first. The success and variety of people's accomplishments indicates that there is a great amount of human potential. I try to maximize my own potential, and the discrepancy between what I have done and what I may be able to do motivates me. The exposure to the progress of others serves as a lesson. It reminds me that I always have more potential to be explored. I hope I make this difference clear. I want to improve, not for the sake of beating others, but for the sake of becoming a better person. This is an interminable condition, one that is frustrating yet inspiring, natural and necessary. 29,029 feet above the seas, Mount Everest is the world's tallest mountain. There is no gray area in the matter. It is an objective fact. Mount Everest is an opportunity for me to be certain that I have achieved the best possible. It is a rare exploit in which there exists an absolute limit. It is the world's most concrete expression of limit. I want to climb Mount Everest because it is an ultimate accomplishment, something that can never be done better. In the end, if I do climb Mount Everest, I will be standing on top of the world, and that I will not be able to climb any higher. Thank you.